Let me know if everyone can hear me loud and clear. There might be a slight network issue because we are traveling right now. We are in Jaipur. So you might feel a little bit of network issue here because I'm on the hotel Wi-Fi. So just, bear with me for 3-4 days. So how is everyone? How was the weekend? Did we feel some change in the energy? Did you feel that you were being more patient with your children or a little more attuned to their style, what they're looking for? Or did you feel some calm within while doing all those things? Could you be a little more aware and a little more mindful of what actions you were taking? Yeah. Type aware if you were feeling aware. Good. Yes, Nikita. Yes, it's beautiful when you feel that you are doing things mindfully. True. I really understand that feeling. Okay, so if you're all now, people are, I think most of us have already joined in. So if you're ready for the next day, just type strong. If you've come with that intent to attend this session also with all your mindfulness and your alert mind with complete surrender to the system, just type strong. Great, great. Thank you so much. Okay, so last week on Friday I promised that we will be discussing the various questions that I'm getting. So I'll start with one question which is come up in various forms. So for people who have not attended one of the previous lives, I had shared about one incident which had happened with my son, which was about the IMO exam. So I'll just repeat that incident so that you are able to relate to the questions. Okay, so what had happened when he was in class 9, what had happened was that, he had been always getting a gold medal in his International Math Olympiad exam. And this was continuing from class 1 till then. And in class 9, what happened that the forms came out, but he did not fill that up on time. So he could not appear for the exam. And why he could not fill up on time? Because we just kept reminding that, just take care. He said, oh, yeah, the date is still open. I'll fill it up. And in the meanwhile, the date passed up. And I could have gone to the class teacher and requested her. I'm sure she would have accepted that request, because he being a brilliant child and she knows the complete background. It was an internal date which was given to students. So the forms had still not gone out because he was just one day late when he realized his mistake. So, but I did not take that action. I said, okay, fine, let him just stay with the consequences now because he has taken this lightly. So the questions that have come in various formats are basically asking that why that was not being done, and is it good to be a rude parent, and was it really a right decision, because ultimately we kind of pulled out, kind of snatched that gold medal which he could have got this time also. And would not the child feel deprived of it and feel and have negative emotions towards his parents if they are taking such a step? And doesn't that show that we are being not very sensitive to our child's needs? So I completely understand all those concerns that are coming in different formats. And that's why I thought it's very, very important for me to address this part, because the option that I chose was something which was very, very important. Very important for the child to understand a lot of things. Number one, that mama will not be always around to take care of the goof ups that he does. So it is one, you can always say that, because the date has already passed. Now the school cannot do anything about it. Now, it's not about lying. It's about that. I mean, in the heart of the hearts, I might know that it might be accepted, but maybe not. So the first thing is that why to give false hopes to the child, because we don't know if that would be accepted or not. But the second thing is school is a different story. But I'm not taking my child as a short-term investment. Children are always long-term investment. And I want him to be fully capable of taking ownership and responsibility before he steps into the world of college. Because there, I will not be able to do things for him, right? He will himself have to take care of those things, right? You agree with that? Yeah. So if we are giving him something like this kind of a behavior, it's not that we don't understand that he could have got the gold medal, which he's not now even given an opportunity to get. But it's like, that your child is very intelligent and he can get it. But that only one thing will not help him in life. In life, it's not just about being intelligent. In real life, it's more about many, many other things which you have to do for your intelligence to work in your favor, right? If you're just being intelligent and just sitting on a high pedestal thinking, oh, I'm intelligent, things will get worked out for me. It will not happen. You're taking a lot of things for granted. Like you're taking school for granted, you're taking an important exam for granted. But you have to understand that until and unless you are being responsible, just thinking that, okay, I'm intelligent, things will work out for me, that attitude will not work. And this is the same attitude which happens at home also when children don't, take up a lot of chores they don't want to do because they just think, अच्छा हो जाएगा, okay, कपड़े प्रेस के आए हुए हैं, उनको रख दिया जाएगा अलमीरा में, कल रख देंगे, है ना? स्कूल से आए, टिफिन नहीं निकाला बैग से, okay, निकल जाएगा, या मम्मा तो निकाल ही देंगी. So lot of things children are not doing because they think ये तो हो ही जाएगा ना, it's okay. So not giving importance to the routine things. Now, when we did something like this, it is like you are saying that, this is what has happened. Now, this is the consequence. Now, you're not lecturing the student, your child. He knows that if I'm not doing certain things, then that was the consequence I faced. So it's not a negative emotion. It's a feeling that he will remember that, yes, I have to be responsible. So the way you talk and your vocabulary will matter if you make it sound negative. So when this happened, I did not say, oh, why didn't you fill up the form and you screwed it up? What can I do about it? Nothing like that. Okay, beta, you have missed it. It's fine. Now we'll have to wait for the next year. We can't do anything about it. But be careful next time. Okay. So this does not leave any room for negative emotions. The child very well understands that he should have taken more responsibility. And this is, what I also encourage you all to do. Invest in long-term parenting. Don't take shortcuts. So if you think that you should invest in long-term, children are long-term investments. So you have to stop making those small decisions every day for them. Just type in LT for long-term. LT. Yes. Yes. Thank you. It's very important. It's very, very important. We just cannot think that children will someday become 14, 16, 18 and they'll suddenly become responsible. Now, my daughter is in a hostel and they just had to fill up their forms for the hostel room allocation. That process was happening last week. And, she was up in the morning just to fill up those forms the moment it's out. And her roomie, because for twin sharing rooms, you have to really get up on time and do it because that gets filled up very quickly. That number is pretty small. So her roomie was on the phone and she was online and she was on her phone to fill up the OTP and all those, procedures that had to be taken care. And the moment the room booking opened, within 50 seconds, her room was allotted. So this is because she has herself seen that responsibility. She has been a responsible child throughout. But many of the students thought that, okay, room booking would go on till 5 p.m. in the evening. So we'll do the whole day is there. They did not even bother to figure out that actually in practical world, how it works out, or that, if you are not given the room, then what are the implications? Or then you will have to, stay in the single room. Or they have not even bothered to speak with the seniors and figured out that how they have been doing this part. So, of course, they will face the consequences later on. And now they cannot put it on anyone. They cannot go back to parents and say that, why didn't you make me responsible? That time parents would not be there. This is something that they have to learn. They have to learn to read so many administrative mails that keep coming from the college every day. They have to be responsible to read those, understand what are the timelines given, what is the procedure given, and go about it and take actions. So you're preparing them for something much ahead when you will not be there around. And even if you want to be, you'll not be able to help them. So type right. If you think it's right to follow this approach, type right. Yes. It's not just right, it's important. It's a key thing in making your children smart and independent, right? But we know this, still we are not able to follow it so many times, right? So that is something that we really need to work upon. Because despite knowing, we are unable to do this out of our love for children. Because we want to take the easy path, when the kids, start complaining or objecting to what you're doing, then we just back off. We say, okay, fine, theek hai bacha, jaisa bol rahe ho, it's okay, it's okay. You try to bail them out. And what happens when you bail out the children? They are not able to, they are not able to stay on the course when the going gets tough. They just give up. The moment something difficult comes their way, they give up. Because in your absence, they find it very difficult to do small things. We have to start today to make it easier for them as time passes, right? So type in the ages of your children, and I want you all to type the age of your children, and then, yes. Okay. So various age groups, right? Now, I cannot tell that, okay, what a 8-year-old can be doing and 10-year-old can be doing and 12-year-old can be doing. That's not about age dependent. An 8-year-old can do so much, but maybe not. Depends on the opportunities you have given to him. I'll tell you a very honest story, which was a change maker for me. Actually, two of them, but I'll just share one today. Because this one was like, when I was still working and as in a full-time this thing with Nagaro. And there we had done this activity. We had gone to HCI. In fact, I was associated with HCI much before I joined Nagaro. And we used to volunteer there very regularly. But that day, I had taken my daughter along because all the employees were also, many employees were going, and we were doing, because it's an orphanage. HCI is an orphanage run by Mr. Messi. And we used to go there quite often. But that day, I had taken my daughter along, and she was, I think, 5 years or so at that time. This was way back in 2012. And a 2-year-old boy, he was eating rice with his own hands, and he was eating it so nicely. Not a single thing was dropping off from his plate, and he was being fast and very meticulous in eating. And I'm just looking at that child. How come he's such a small boy? How can he eat so nicely with his own hands? it was a moment which made me feel very emotional also, that he has to do it on his own. But I also realized that I had kept my children like in a complete cushion kind of an environment. And that moment, I started questioning myself. Is it right? Is it right to keep them so cushioned that whatever they can do? Because till then I used to think that, oh, my children are small, because my daughter was like 6 and son was 3 years at that time. And I was like, oh, they are too young to eat with their own hands. So it was either me or my mom-in-law or a full-time maid who was always feeding them, but thinking that they are too young. But that day, for the first time, I realized that there is no age of being young. It's your circumstances, it's a situation, and it's the way you are being brought up. So it really is not age dependent. It's about parents or the nurturing or the upbringing that we give to our children. So we have to decide how much cushion we want to give, which is what is important for them. And are we doing it in more than what we should be doing, right? So with that, uh, I want to tell you all that, you are doing something brave here. You are trying to do something brave here because you are trying to come out of the easy parenting options which we have taken so far, and you are trying to do something much, much, much better for your children. So just type in, I am a great parent. Type, I am a great parent. Because what you're doing is certainly not an easy path to walk, not an easy thing to do. Yes. Yes, Riddhima. Of course. So along with working and understand, yes, like you're saying, in joint family, it's very difficult for parents to have a lot of say. Sometimes mother-in-laws and grandparents do a lot of things. And I completely understand that. But whatever we can do as parents, at least let's start with that. At least let's start with that awareness, right? Yes. So, pat on your back for being a great parent. And tomorrow we'll meet again with another set of questions. So 2-3 days we'll be taking all the questions. And if you have more questions, you can right now type in your chat box, or you can fill in the Excel form that I've already circulated. And I've opened the Excel forms for you to fill in. So you can just fill in there also. And with that, I'll take your leave. Goodbye and have a great evening tonight. Bye-bye.